Dun 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. We're doing it on, but it's Friday, December the 6th, 2024. Wherever you're tuning in from, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you like to get the full-length videos, check out patreon.com/robsadra if you like to physically, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, all of it. Wagwan, if you're just tuning in today, subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the reminders. Tell your family and friends, because this is a little snowball that is rolling down the hill. We did get our first batch of snow here in Toronto. Wherever you're tuning in from, I hope it's nice and cozy. Whether it's Canada, anywhere in Canada, down south in the United States, per usual, down south, further down south, Mexico, South America, over there, Africa, Europe, Asia, Papua New Guineas, always the Guineas, over there in Thailand, Bangkok, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Portugal, over there in the Finnish people, the Scandinavians, you blubber-eating sons and daughters of bitches, cousins. You know what I'm talking about. Pickled shark, pickled whale, fermented stuff, whatever you're consuming in and around this beautiful planet. I hope you're doing well. Let's have some fun. It is Friday, and we're here to do it together. Dun, 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 queefing all over the place. Damn, that was a little bit too hot. That was coming in hot. That was, felt good though. It's nice. Let's get right into it. There's a ton of stuff that we want to get through, of course. We'll see where we land all over the place. No particular direction. Let's just start with this. I think let's start with a gift idea, because again, it is the holiday season. I do want to be giving back as much as I can. Full-blown, full-body erections for everybody. No longer will you only be getting erections in your penile, in your cock, or your clit, or your nips. I'm talking, we're almost 2025. It's almost that time of, we are a quarter into the new century. Holy shit, 25 years into the 2020s, 30. You get what I'm talking about. 25. Feels good. Full body erections, though, yes, because why should it be that only our nipples, our penises, our clits get erect when we have full-blown access to blood all over our system, essentially our bodies? I wanna see that more so, I want to see it in the sports arenas. I want to see it in, like, if somebody is playing, if you're a quarterback, you should have the ability to get a nice pump, a nice erect arm, and just toss that bad boy all the way from the, from one side of the field to the other. You should also be able to, just for, it could also be used for regular folks, of course. Don't you want to, why should it be just the penis? Why can't we control the blood flow? I would love to just walk in a room with a giant swole stiff arm. What happened there? This guy's got an arm erection. Nobody panic. It's just an arm erection. They'll say that, It'd be nice to get if you are, let's say you're standing somewhere, if you're just like standing on guard, if you could just if you're one of those like British guards that just guards the palace or whatever it is, or old school British phone booth that you're guarding. Maybe you're tired of standing on both feet. Pump all the blood into one leg. Get a swole, erect leg and stand on one leg. How sweet is that? You're welcome. Did you want to do a handstand? Tired of not having enough, I wish my arm was bigger. There's some sort of noise going on in the background. I like it. I don't know what it is. And it just stopped. That's good. If you just heard a beeping noise, and I didn't either, you just had a stroke. No, you just had a stroke. Get yourself checked out. Jesus, you just shat your pants, didn't you? You were hearing beeping noises and you just shat your pants. You're having a stroke, man. Nobody heard any beeping noises. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that yes, it's nice to do a handstand and have a huge arm erect, holding you down with a firm base. Or just a swole, erect neck. Just pump all the blood in your neck. You know what I'm talking about? Especially in like fall, winter, when it's like the winds are, 75k an hour, gusty winds, you want that thick neck. You should be able to have the ability to get erect. All I'm saying is, let's make it happen. if we got to get some, and I don't know what we got to do, but we can do it together. And I came up with the idea. You guys out there funded and come up with the implementation, whether we got to use some sort of Neuralink, whether we got to use some sort of, bionic body parts, get some sort of, mechanical heart that'll pump blood faster into the body parts that we wanted to pump blood into. Let's do it together. And I do want more control over my erections as well. I gotta say, I'm still fine with it, no problem. Thank God, knock on wood, all that jazz. You know what I'm talking about? Still at that, it's still, it works perfectly fine, and I'm happy about that. But I do want a little bit more control. Because it's not like, I wish I could press a nipple and just get hard. And I want that ability, but again, all over the body though, not just in the peen. I want it in the peen, but I also, again, want to be able to get that stiff neck, get that stiff arm, get a swole head. Oh, is your hat a little bit too big for your head? Pump up the blood in your head, dude. Get a big, giant, erect head. Oh, I gotta find somebody to refit this hat. No, you don't. Get an erect head. Much easier. We could do it together. You're welcome, everybody. Giving back to the community one step at a time. Doing it on a good Friday. It is the 6th. I gotta say, I did have an, I don't know if it was an idea. It was an idea that came to me, and I thought about it because it's important. You go out. It's not just like you do see it. It's one of those things that because things that happen on the outside, sometimes on the inside, it pulls on your boy's heartstrings. I got these. Just pull on my heartstrings. I see it, especially during wintertime in Canada. I wish I could do more. I don't know what the solution is, but I did come up with maybe something we could do together. I'm talking about homelessness out there. Yeah, it does. Genuinely, because you might have a little bit of loose change you might hand out to somebody that might, but that doesn't fit. That's just a little teeny tiny little band-aid. And there's no, there's been, again, I'm not saying this is the solution for it, but you do see people, out on the, and it gets cold, so your heart goes out. But I'm just thinking, maybe we utilize these homeless people, and we team up with companies. There's so many companies in and around the world. What if we sponsor the homeless? Brand the homeless is what I'm trying to brand the homeless. I'm not talking about sticking a piece of hot metal on their body and branding them physically. We might be able to do that too. Put that also, it's complete branding. Maybe that should also be available on the table. Put it there. Branding. I'm talking about branding. I'm talking about sponsorship from there's so many companies. You deck them out in your gear. They're out on the streets anyway, right? And you're like, oh, if I pay for a billboard, people will drive by, see the billboard. Next thing you know, oh, I'm getting all sorts of cravings. I want a tampon. And why did I get a craving for a tampon? Because you just drove by on the highway and you saw somebody having a happy period and you're like, oh, I want a happy period too. So there you go. But that's the thing with billboards. They're stationary. They're right there. They're not moving. You want people walking around with your gear, whatever you're selling out there, put them on the homeless, brand them hard, and let them just fucking walk. They're going to be out there 4 or 5 hours at least, right? That way they earn money from the products that you branded them with, bring you customers, bring you money, and also get a little bit of rent money so they can get a place. Think about that. 4 or 5 hours. That's just bare minimum. You're walking around anyway. You're moseying around anyway. Do your thing. Maybe it's time we get a new, because that's the thing. It's like, oh, we gotta and that's the thing. People could use that money, use that home as a starter. And I'm not saying this is gonna there's no one solution that's gonna fix this problem. I'm just saying helping some get a little bit of it, because I see some people on the streets that are just like, man, this young woman is, I don't know what her deal is, but it's like, you shouldn't, it's you have the whole world ahead of you. Brand that bitch. Put fucking, Nike, just decked out Nike gear. She's walking around looking, sure, she's doing a little crack on the side, no problem, but at least she's committed, she's doing it in full-blown neon Nike gear, Adidas, Puma, those are just sports, those are just, clothing items. Think about all the different, car companies, cigarette companies, advertising, tampons, again, big tampon can get involved. Banks sponsor these bitches, just put your logo on a TD Bank. Why is this chick looking so, corporate? Oh, look at them TD shoes. They'll say that she's got the TD shoes. She's got a couple other, acronyms that you might want to, steer clear from, but nonetheless, but she's got the TD, bitch. Brand that. brand that ass. I'm just saying, Mercedes, this guy's, looks like, is that a NASCAR driver? Is that, oh, what is this? I want to wash my clothes with Tide. I don't know why, because this fella was just walking by decked out in Tide gear. You know what I'm talking about? Cereals, Fruit Loops, get in there, Nesquik, just, tricks are for kids. Put that rabbit on that ass. Earn yourself some money. Again, these guys are going to be walking around, doing a little bit of whatever. And if they pass out, they pass out. People still walk by. They see them. At least they look good. They feel, however they feel inside. And they're making money for you themselves. And we get rid of a little bit of the homelessness. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody. But again, I see somebody in their 20s, full-blown female on the streets. I'm just saying, maybe we could deck her out in some gear. Powerade. This will, and next thing, and find out through programs that'll connect with them. Maybe some of them will be good in some certain things that you sponsor them with. Ask them, what are you into? Sponsor them with that. Next thing, from the streets to MMA fighter. Who knows? This bitch fucking can, take your head off. You never know. They could, she's into drilling holes. Next thing you know, she's working at NASA. Maybe one step at a time, maybe just NAS, and then, or maybe or maybe just an N. Maybe she'll start with N and then move her way up through the other letters, but it could happen. Better than just let people freeze on the street. I don't have the solution. I'm just saying, heartstrings pulled. The fellas too, and that's the thing. There's fellas on the streets that could be, brought to you by Home Depot. This guy's decked out in Home Depot gear. Next thing you know, he's building houses. Who knows? Sponsorship through corporate. I'm just saying corporations should give a little bit back. Large, gigantic, it's just saying, maybe a little bit. Or maybe not. Just an idea, putting it out there. Because that's the thing, if they look good, if they look like, man, this guy does he actually drive a Ferrari? He's decked out in full-blown Ferrari gear. Why do I want to get a Ferrari now? I don't know, but I want to look like that fella. You'll say that. Oh, I want to buy a vibrator. I don't know why. Because this guy's just fucking circling the hood, dude. This guy's just circling the hood. Brought to you by the rabbit. Fucking, tickle that little clit, dude. Let's get into it. I'm just saying, think about it. I do most of my grooming, of course, at my place by myself. But I was thinking, why don't we have barbershops that give pubic hair services for both men's and females? I know women, obviously, they got there. I seen them. They have the wax bars. They go there and they get the cooch waxed up. They fucking do the Brazilian wax. They do all that shit. But what if I'm just putting it up for, it's another extra way of making revenue. If you happen to be in that world, if you are a barbershop, think about it. The chairs are pretty comfy. Get those bad boys leaned back a little bit, like the gyno chairs. And just trim a guy's nuts. Give him a nice fade. I'm just putting it out give him a nice fade. Because that's one thing when you shave your own nuts, but it's a whole nother thing when another fellow or lady shaves your nuts. Think about that. Grabs your shaft, just fucking lathers it up with that white cream, that little shaving cream, lathers it up, nicks it, you get a little cut. Ugh, that hurts, Puts a little bit of fucking aftershave on it. It burns. It just slapping it a little bit. Just, pampering up your nuts a little bit. I'm just putting it on the table. Because I would love to be able to, I would love to get cornrows on my pubic hair. That's something that and I can't do that by myself. I don't think I can do that myself. I do want cornrows, dude. I think, and that'll be, because one thing, you gotta, oh, I get it. I see why they don't. This is fucking big. This is Big Razor, isn't it? This is from Big Razor. They want you to shave and trim. Because if you got that shit braided, son, if you got them cornrows downstairs, ladies, you don't need to be plucking and pulling. It's just cornrows that just stays in place. You're like, because you can't slick it back with you could, I guess you could. You could slick it back with wax or gel, but if it's cornrows, that shit will get into the octagon and fucking, put up the fists or something. I'm putting it on the table. I really do believe in this. I think we could definitely do something with this. Fades if your nuts had a fade, because it's one thing to just shave it bald or just let it grow, but a fade, you know what I'm talking about? Just, short on the sides, heavy in the front. Just a little, just a little rat tail from I'm just putting it on the table. Think about it. I think it's a great idea. And again, it's one of those things that could be, it's like, why not? Because you go there, you get your mani and pedi. People do, mostly females, some males do. You go, you put your feet up, you put your hands out, they work on your nails, they give you, they give you facials, they give you a haircut. The nuts and the vag should be on the table, and the vag is on the table, but not at the hairdresser. I'm just saying these services could be combined. Do a full comb over your nuts. How sweet would that look? That's gonna be the new look. Milan Fashion Week 2025, the comb over on the nuts. What will Poochie do next? Brought to you by Fendi. Pardon me, excuse me. Pardon me, coming through, pardon me, ladies and gents, let's get into it. It is Friday, lots of events are happening in and around the world. Let's get into it. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. No, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Pardon me, excuse me. I believe this happened in the past few days. Joe Biden just pardoned his son, which was nice. Hunter Biden, I'm a fan of his art. I'm a fan of the man's art. He's a good man. He's a good man. He's a fun man, at least you could say. I don't know if he's like, most people are, heartstrings always being tugged in every which direction. He pardoned his son. It's what you'd expect a father to do. That was it'd be weird if his father didn't pardon him. That'd be weird. The takeaway from it is that we should all want that sort of level of connection or pardoning for everybody. Because that's the thing, some people might see the pardon and be like, you shouldn't pardon whoever. You should pardon everybody. You should pardon a lot of people. You should pardon, most people are just people. We're all in it together. And you want more people to be successful, happy, and healthy rather than, going to whatever. So yes, the pardoning was nice. Crimes may have happened allegedly, and I don't know much about it. Deals with foreign governments, maybe laptops with information on them, maybe, who knows? I don't even know anymore. It's been so long. News cycle. It's so fast. The stories come and go. Who can remember everything? But the point is, he's pardoned his son, which is nice. Maybe all have that sort of level of, leniency, that sort of level of, just coverage, cush, just connections, maybe all, and that's a precedent has been set. And yes, and the takeaway, one of the other takeaways is, of course, we should hashtag save the rich, save the elite, hashtag. Yeah, because that's the thing. You're like, what about laws and, whatever? And I say that's for the poor man. I say that and I stand by that. Poor laws. That's what I like to call them, poor laws. That's what it is. Because, laws should be for the poor. If you have more, that's the way it should be. That's the whole point of getting money and access and power and privilege. That's the whole point. So poor laws, keep it for the poor. I'm glad that, rich, connected, powerful people continue to just fucking glide through life without any sort of, and that's what you want for everybody. So a precedent has been set by a president. Hopefully everybody in life, through whatever you're going through, hopefully whatever, you come across in life, you'll be treated with more leniency, with more, you'll be given the benefit of the doubt. More doors will continue to open for you. And yeah, so that way you could concentrate on whatever it is that you're doing. And, so yes, hell's yes to connections, money, recognizing money, dads being good dads, looking out for sons and daughters. I can't see this being a negative. I just want more people. So, keep the laws again for the poor. The rich and elite are better than, the poor. So let's just always remember that That's one of the lessons that I'm taking away from this. Hell's yes to money, power, privilege. And of course, he's the president's son. You don't want the president's son, fucking turning tricks in a cell with a cellie, getting his hair braided, just, having to suck people off because he didn't get pardoned. So to pardon me, I think that makes sense. You don't want that no matter, but then if you don't want that for that person, like, why would you want it for the guy, whoever, or the gal who, because it's just, again, you don't want that for anybody. There's certain cases, of course, major things that we all, you know what it is, but like, if you're making monies out there, if you're just doing white collar shit, that's everybody's like dreams and aspirations is white collar shit. So like, yes, more to that, more leniency, more pardons for the rich, elite, super fucking, upper echelon parts of society. And then the rest, just like, get up there. That's how it should be. So that's nice. I like pardons. Because pardoning is like, I would, if I were a president, Dad, I would pardon sons, daughters, cousins, grandparents, in-laws. I'd fucking pardon, associates. I'd pardon animals. I'd pardon anyone, really, if it made sense, I'd pardon them. Again, horrendous crimes, of course, not, but even then, again, it really depends how much money you got. So I'm just saying, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm for it. Let's go, more pardons, and you want it from both sides, so which makes it all sides. Which isn't, pardoning is good. It's good to forgive. But hey, what did Jesus say? I think it's all about forgiveness. You're like, what about the poor? Those fucks should learn to make more money. That's essentially it. So those fucks get to earning, build up some equity, then we can leverage shit. But until then, pardon me, excuse me, coming through. A lot of events are going on in and around the world. It's actually, I love it. I love the times we're living in. I fucking love it. There's, always glass half full of jizz, vaginal juice mentality for this guy. Always, looking at life and seeing that there's so many beautiful things. And it's Marvel, and I love it. I love it all. Whether it's sports, whether it's talking about the UFC is going to be happening this week. Hell's yes. Let's go. Whether it's the music, the arts. Kendrick just dropped another album. Let's go. Fucking right there. So there's fucking titillation on all levels. All sorts of amazing food, people coming together, people leaving together, doing amazing things. But again, it's, incredible, amazing, big stuff happens that's, notable in and around the world. And I love it all. I like to pay attention to as much as possible. One of the things that just happened recently, not here, not anywhere, near Canada or the US or, the West, it happened all the way in South Korea. Happened in South Korea recently. The president of South Korea just, for a brief moment in time, put all of South Korea under martial law. I don't know what that is. I believe it, and I believe it's when you, I think it's about passion. I think it's about wanting maybe unity, maybe, it's about liking or maybe perhaps loving someone or something. The martial law, I'm assuming, this is my understanding. I think the president of South Korea is in love with Eminem, rapping in general. I believe he's a big fan of rap. He likes the raps, he likes the hip hops, he likes the R&Bs. That's what I'm getting from this. And he set in place martial law, which is, I believe, his way of turning the entire nation of South Korea into Eminem replicas or clones. I think he wants South Koreans to turn into white males who can rap really quick, and are willing to bleach their hair also. And it's not I get it. One of the greatest rap lyricists out there with the lyrics and the raps. One of the greatest. Are there other options? Of course, there's always other options. There's so many people out there. I personally, there's so many names. He's going with clearly martial law. He wants everybody to turn white, which is, I gotta say, I don't think it fully worked, because after a few hours, or I'm not even quite sure, maybe a day, it stayed in place for a really short period of time, and then he waived it because they were like, no, we can't turn everybody into white rappers. That's crazy, without even giving us any other option. What about, like, Tom McDonald, Harry Mack, Mercules? What about an Easy Merc? You know what I'm talking about? Just a little, get in there, like, options are, but that's a big ask. To ask, first of all, what are we gonna do with it's South Korea, dude? You can't turn everybody into white people just because you feel like it. It's just, and you're like, oh, I'm facing, I'm getting a lot of opposition on this. I just want everybody to be under, under my way of doing things. I just want martial law. I just want everybody getting in beefs with their, a little bit of, maybe everybody should get a little bit of beef between, parental beef, a little bit of, sons and mothers. Maybe he wants to invoke that sort of narrative. Maybe, I don't know what, I get it. One of the greats, it does make sense. It makes sense. But it's what are you gonna do with the eyes, dude? They're Asian, they're Korean, they got the eyes that are Korean, beautiful eyes. But you can't just tell people it's gonna be martial law. The bleaching of the hair, I get. The rapping is, I don't know, dude. That's a lot of people. If you are trying to invoke a lot of people to become rappers, white, bleach blonde hair rappers, fast-paced rappers too, not just, it didn't work. It did not work, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how it's gonna turn out in South Korea, but I tell you, you gotta open up your, you gotta broaden up the scope. There's of course, there's rap, there's hip hop, there's, there's rock and roll, there's fucking, there's emo music, there is folk music, there is, whatever you like, there's the EDM, there is whatever you like, there's, there's grunge, there is heavy metal, there is, death metal, scream metal. We're gonna turn everyone into martial law. And, it's the good stuff, martial law. So that didn't work. I'm just letting you know, it's too much to ask a whole population. And half the population is female anyway. So like, do you expect them to get full-blown trans operations? Are you trying to turn all the population into white males with penises and bleach blonde hair who can rap fast? Is that what you want, you sick son of a bitch? I don't know what it stems from, to be honest with you. I think, let people be people. That's what I'm for the people, dude. Let's fucking give the power. Let the people choose whatever they want. And maybe they don't even want to be in the music business. That's a lot to just be like, you're gonna turn into the best white rapper replica clone ever. Like K-pop, that fucking, that works. That's fire. Like, that fucking keep on, and there's other stuff you could do too. It's just, that's a lot of pressure on a whole population overnight. We're gonna turn everybody into white rappers. Get out of here. That's crazy talk. I don't know, to be honest with you. I think it's just, again, met with opposition, wants to stay in power or control. I don't know these things, but I tell you, solving a country's issues through rap, I don't believe is the answer. It could be one of the answers, because music is a universal language, but I don't, I don't know. I've never been to Korea, so maybe it'll be a thing. We'll see. What else is going on? Here in Canada, amazing stuff has been happening. A beautiful man is now resting happily and safely in a hospital bed, recovering from what you ask. Oh, need I remind you that this is the Great White North here, bitch? Need I remind you that this is where the fucking polar bears reside, son? A man swept into action, into the line of fire when a polar bear tried to get on his wife and do horrible, horrendous, just unimaginable deeds with his wife, to his wife. But a brave man, jumped in front of the bear and said, "No, bear, not today. Not today, white bear. Not today." And then the bear and the man tussled and they wrestled too. And the man got injured, severely injured, I think. Somewhat injured. I don't know the depths of his injuries, but he is recovering, which is the good news. And that's the kind of place we live in. So fucking put some, just be on alert, because apparently I didn't know this. We have about 17,000 polar bears. This happened in, the northern regions of Ontario, of course, a little bit further up north, a few hours up north. So we do have them. They're up here. I personally, we don't see them in the city because they're a bunch of punk ass hoes. So that's why they don't fucking show their faces in the city. I'll say that. Come down here and holla at your boy. You know what I mean? It's easy to talk that talk once you're in the woods. Oh, yeah, but that's, so this man was a hero. We hope a fast and, speedy recovery. Of course, I would like to, see more women doing the same in spaces of, if you see a bear attack a man or get close to him, I do want to see a little bit of, reciprocity there. I want, generally speaking, I want all of us to, if you're a baby and if you see others in danger with, large animals, predator animals like bears that are, if you're there and you're not helping, you're like, oh, I'm just a baby. I'm like a dumb baby. I can't move it. I don't have control of my neck. That should not be an excuse, baby. Everybody should be, I want everybody to do this sort of thing. Of course, I myself, I wish for scenarios like this to just fucking unravel in front of me. Of course, I'd like a working camera available with good lighting and, something to get the sound as well. But every day I get up and I say, my God, will today be the day where I'm faced to save a lady from a bear or a fucking, maybe just a group of, and bears, that's one large animal, but how about like 5 small sized animals? How about 5 raccoons? I will, if a lady is, because a part of me, I am focused very much on my career and just like, get in there and do the thing that you want to be, little one teeny tiny step at a time. But at the same, there is a portion of me as there's a portion that's like, the protector of me, like, the protector wants to, be with the, there's those innate things that, you make time and sacrifice, but there's a part of me that just says, bitch, get in front of a bear so I can hop on that ass and the bear's ass. And then later, potentially, because, it would make sense. I'm not saying it's fucking like mandatory for it to be like, pop that ass back after I save a life from a, dangerous animal. But all I'm saying is every day, I wake up and I'm just like, I wish there is maybe a loose cat in the neighborhood that's just kind of like coming around your place, and you, for some reason, all right, fine, you love cats, the cat is not an issue, but how about fucking, when it rains, the snails fucking come out. You have a problem with earthworms, lady? Because the protector inside me will want to get out and fucking save a life. If you've got a golden retriever, that's a good boy. That's a really good boy. But oftentimes he snuggles too. Okay, so you love golden retrievers, and those are not threats either. So that's, but I'm just saying, I'm just counting on the days. If you've got a polar bear problem, there's a part of me that's just kind of saying, bring it. And I'll be ready. I'll be ready with a can of Coke, a bottle of Coke. I'll shove it right up his ass. Ladies, that's the type of, it's inside. I've put it, it's on the back burner it's going to be there for a long time. But one day, the love and the protector, let the love and protector come outside. But then you gotta, it's what it is. It's work, life, all that jazz. But we're doing it one teeny tiny step at a time. And I'm feeling like I'll be ready for that bear. I'll fucking be ready with like mace and pepper spray and maybe a fucking, I'll work on my right there, bear, on your nose, on your, but also maybe like talk to the animals, violence is not the answer either. Violence is not the answer. That's what I say. So like I might, because if it's like one, if it's like a mama bear protecting its like, bear cubs, maybe then I'll have to turn around and ask you, what were you doing, but right by the baby bears, because like you don't get the mother bear all aggro, don't, so I just, why was, this one was apparently just in their driveway, it just came up, so it was in their territory, but then again, like, it's human animal interactions, I love it, I'll let them bitches fucking run wild, and if it comes down to it, if it fucking comes down to it, I will, I'll quickly look around. I'll see if there's like a car available that we can just like hop on into and like drive off. I might not, because you don't want this getting involved with a raw animal and just exchanging, because then there's a good chance that my intestines or my just my whole intestines and just raw asshole will be on the ground, on the pavement, if I'm getting in between you and the bear. That might happen, and I will, again, the protector inside is like, yes, but also like you'll have to like clean that up, which is, so be careful out there. If you are in regions where there are polar bears, maybe you should carry, I don't know how we keep getting more repression on our on our gun laws, and like I don't know what it is. There's always talks of more guns being whatever. I heard about this. I don't know the depths of it, but like we're taking away more guns and we're gonna be sending them off to the Ukraine, which is like no guns for you folks here, but these guns, these other folks over there, these guys should have the guns. Like I don't know, get a hunting rifle. That should always be get a little bow and arrows too slow for bears, that fucking, because bears are fast. They walk slow, but if they want to speed it up, they will fucking triple X that speed. Big fellas, feisty. That's why always carry fish. That's another thing that I might want to suggest. Always carry a salmon in your pockets if you're in a northern region of this beautiful great land, Canada. If you are up there, just always carry fish. You chuck the fish, wiggle it in their face first, and then chuck the fish. Don't just chuck a fish too quick, then they won't see it. Wiggle it in front of their nose, punch them in the nose, toss the fish, run the opposite way, of course. That's the takeaway. I'm happy about that. That's good. What else is going on? In Canada, we just had an emo town was just... they were fined for not being gay. That's right, you heard it here. You might have heard it some other place too. It happened at the Canadian township. Small town, small city town, maybe roughly around 1,500 people. This happened a few years ago, but it just came into like, I think they just got fined now or whatevs. The town was, they decided not to celebrate Pride Month. And they got fined $15,000 because they took a vote and they're like, I don't know the full deets of it. I think they said something along the lines of, we're not gonna put up the gay flag or the whole alphabet acronym flag. They're not gonna do that, and maybe they're not gonna paint their sidewalks with the same flag. They're not gonna. Now that doesn't mean that they're not So they got fined $15,000. I think. If we want to drive if you want to drive something home, if you want to make a point, if you want to, we gotta hit them where it hurts. We gotta force them to engage in homosexual activities, because I don't think $15,000 fine is a sufficient way of making sure everybody's on board. And everybody needs to be on board with whatever. That's one of the things in life. Whatever works for you, force it upon other people. That's one of the biggest things. Whether and I say this with whether it's religion, whether it's sexuality, just force whatever thing works for you. I think You're supposed to force it on others. I think that's what you're. So yes, they got fined 15K. I think the mayor got fined maybe like 5K, and then I don't know the other 10,000. I don't know if everybody's got to like pitch in or something. But that's what it is. But I don't think that's a strong enough message. I believe wholeheartedly that the entire town should have to engage in some sort of training, some sort of some sort of DEI equity sort of training, sort of just some sort of human resources involved, and make sure that everybody in this town does maybe a full month of just anal, just full blown, talking man to man anal. And you're like, the town, most of them, they might have a few gays in there, but the few gays will engage, of course. That's all, it's a free, beautiful country. Everybody loves and accepts each other. But for those other individuals who may not be gay, I believe it's high time that we force them to do anal for 1 month, day in, day out, until they learn. I want the ladies to split up from their heterosexual relations and pair up with another female and scissor until those lips are sore. Ladies, you will learn to understand and accept and respect. I think that's reasonable for 1 month, and we keep doing it year after year until it gets drilled into their head that you fly the flag, you abide by that's what it is, or we're just gonna put you through more homosexual training. That's what it should be. More of that. I want the bars to be just turned into gay bars. And that's why there's a bar or two. It's a smaller town, so I don't believe this. But if you want business, because we're living in that time, baby, where it's monies, where it's business, and it's anal for everyone. All right, so just keep that in mind. Again, if I hear any heterosexual activity in the next month coming, the town is, by the way, called Emo. It's a beautiful name. They're a little bit, and they've got potential. They're an emotion that's in the name. It's an emotional town. So they'll be understanding. And if not, we'll make them understand. Of course, we should provide them with lube. Now, yes, there has been a little bit shortage due to the whole Diddy party, but we will get lube. We want this to be a good, fun experience for everybody. This is not going to be like some sort of like dry anal. It's not like prison or anything. It's going to be just, nice, fun, male to male, penis to penis penetration, just cock to cock, That's what it should be until everybody becomes accepting and understanding. Of course, they have made a point that there is no straight Pride month or what. To switch it up the following month from now and moving forward after Pride to be fully inclusive, we should have straight month Pride as well, where we make sure everybody is only doing straight shit. 1 month of strictly gay shit for 1 month, and then straight shit for a month, because you want balance. You want the yin to the yang. You want the anal to the vag, to the cock, to the lips, to the puss, to the nips, to the tits, you want it all. So 1 month, again, we'll do it's training. This will take time. And don't think you're gonna just get this like doing it once. You're gonna have to rinse, repeat, recycle this. That's how this shit works. So I think that's true acceptance. Making sure everybody, or we could just, just whatever. So those are just some ideas. If you guys have better ideas, you're like, they should just keep doing more anal until they get it. Well, we're on the same page. Well, I'm glad we're all thinking the same. What else is going on, ladies and gents? I believe there has been a situation that's unraveled in the past few days. In New York City, New York, put it up. New York City, New York, NY City, New York, and Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, New York. It happened. It broke news. It was breaking news, and it happened over the past I don't know. I've seen a lot of it. It's been getting covered the past few days, let's just say. A CEO was gunned down and assassinated. A New York City, he's a CEO of a healthcare company, United Healthcare, I believe. He was walking, and there was a guy with a gun who pulled up in daylight, I think, and shot him in the back and killed him, which sucks for anybody. That's a human life, taking human life at any moment sucks. That's not but the point is that this one man getting shot got a lot of attention, and I was just like, okay, a lot of people, doesn't excuse it doesn't justify it, or it doesn't, it doesn't make sense when it happens. Like, a lot of people do die, whether it's New York, whether it's just all over the place and then around the world. People do die. Why was this beautiful man getting so much coverage? Is it the style of the assassination, or how do we even know it was an assassin? Because they came up and said that it was. What distinguishes one form of killing from another and makes it a murder versus an assassination? I guess the way it looked, sort of the way the guy did pull up in a hoodie and a backpack and just kind of like empty a couple of shells in this beautiful man's hand. But then I asked myself, why this man? Why is this getting so much coverage? Then I figured he's a CEO. He's a CEO of healthcare company, healthcare insurance company, United Healthcare. And he's apparently wealthy. He was wealthy. He's worth like $50 million. So that's when I realized that, yes, again, it makes a huge impact. Many people could die on a regular basis and nobody, yes, of course, but it's just another statistic. If you want, one of the lessons here, if you want your death to be memorable, make sure by the time it happens to you, God forbid, I hope everybody lives a happy, healthy life and you go out by natural causes. And of course, once again, people say everything is in nature and everything is of natural causes, essentially. But you know what I mean? Like, I hope you grow old and wrinkly, just become a prune, where they just pour a little bit of water over you like a dried out plant. Then you kind of like fucking face the sun and you just drool for a couple of hours, and people will bring you birthday cake saying happy birthday, celebrating 103 years old, grandpa, grandma, whatever. They sit on your lap, they break your hip. Why do they put those heavy kids on your lap? They know you're frail, but they love you. The point is, I want you to grow old. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful $50 million was just killed. No, wait, a beautiful $50 million man was just killed. And we will get to the bottom of this. Like, there are other crimes, of course, happening. We'll get to the bottom of those too. But there's a $50 million man that just got killed and murdered. And that's horrible. And yes, again, there are other murders, but this one, it's noteworthy. You should know. There's a rich CEO. There's a beautiful, rich CEO. Which happens to work for one of the most humane sectors of society, which is insurance companies. There's a beautiful man involved in basically, he was a giver, much like myself and yourself out there. We're all just, trying our, something. So he was a giver. He was innately a really, just a benevolent sort of fella. You could say that his field of work was more so it was giving back to the people. It was a lot of like, let me provide you with insurance so that when you don't have yourself covered, we got you covered. That's what insurance companies are. A noble sector, a highly, thoughtful, caring portion of our society is and there are many other ones, of course. There's the banking industry, one of the other saviors, and the noble folk out there, the high elite bankers, amongst other, these beautiful people, people involved in the military industrial complex. Again, but the health insurance is one of the oil sector, just really just good people, healthcare, medication, drug companies, good people, noble people who like to, especially the CEOs, specifically the CEOs, the most noble of men. So it's left me baffled. You too are, of course, probably a little bit confused, asking yourself, why would such a thing happen? I don't know why, but we will find out. Takeaway from it, I will say the assassination murder was, it seemed, I'm gonna go, it looked like a hitman, but there was a time where he kind of fidgeted with the gun, and it kind of like, he was a little bit of struggle went over with the gun. So you might say he's amateur, or some people might say that he's pretending to be amateur when in reality he's a fucking full-blown cold-blooded assassin. So that might be also another, so we will get to but by the time this comes out, this podcast, but we might have solved it already, so I don't know. This is real-time shit, son. So yeah, he struggled with I'm just gonna give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say that, yeah, it looked sloppy. It looked a little bit sloppy. He got the job done, which was, it's not a good thing, but then we talked about these people do exist. There are assassins in the world. There are killers in the world. There's horrible people in the world, but then, depends who hires them, and then it's the whole thing that it's a mess. It's a lot of gray as we learn together. Yeah, assassinations not good. But again, like it depends who the targets are. Like fucking Hezbollah, fucking assassinate them all day, every day. Doesn't matter. ISIS, assassinate them. Doesn't matter. Of course, makes sense. But it's an individual. This one's not an ISIS. This one's not a Hezbollah. This is a beautiful $50 million man worth $50 million, which is, yeah. Again, the guy, we are learning more. I was trying to get as much information and as little information as possible. He was, we're a, kind of like he blended in. He resided at a hostel for a few days, I think, or maybe a few hours. I don't know, maybe a few days, maybe. Wore a mask, but then again, he removed the mask. We do have an image of his face, his dirty, disgusting mug, which we will find. And might I say, when we do find him, we can all thank facial recognition technology and CCTV and just, cameras everywhere. We can all thank technology and learn that technology and surveillance is good. Because if we do capture him, it's mostly due to the fact that we were able to mass surveil everyone for everyone's safety. And we need more of that. So he went into he shot him on the streets, and he then hopped on the bike, which is another point I like to critique. The getting away on the bike, gay, pretty gay. And not the fun kind of good gay either. Not the type of gay that we're trying to implement up in emo township. Not that good kind of fun. I'm talking just, not, who gets to look like fucking ET riding off into the slowly. I'm on an e-bike. Lame, dude. Fucking, if you're gonna do something, fucking get in there with fucking a Mustang or a fucking, just a rear wheel drive car that just, burn some rubber. That's skirt, just. So yeah, the bike, lame. I'm gonna give him a 1 out of 10. 0 would have been if he just walked, but he got away for some. You got away for some time, Buster. We'll find you. We'll find you. They said there's a reward of information that may lead to this man's arrest, $10,000. I just want to help. It seemed like I'm gonna say a male, full-blown male. Information that may lead to a reward of sorts, white-ish. We could say that. More information. I'm just coming in with things that might be of value. Dark hair, peddling technique, not so great. He went into Central Park, which brings me to my next point. I think we need more cameras, and we need more cameras we need cameras everywhere is one of the points of this, I think. More facial recognition technology in trees. I want bird houses torn down, little baby birds, just like, oh, I'm a cute little birdie bird. I'm a birdie bird. I'm a mama birdie bird. I want to go get some worms because I'm an early bird. I guess the worm for his mama bear gets the worms for the baby bird. you know, take that little baby bird and chuck it out the tree and put a camera in its place so we can watch people more closely, whether they're making out just for funs or potentially getting away with murder. So more cameras in Central Park, just everywhere. Really, I want everybody to just camera it up, which is why I decided to actually invent something that'll save lives. Really, I thought about this and people asked, why didn't this $50 million male not travel with security, bodyguards, security, more bodyguards and all that? Because like here's the thing. I took it upon myself. You know what? We're gonna have to do, because we want everybody to be successful, wealthy, super elite, so we can make the, more people should be in possessions where they should be fearing for their life because they have money. No, more people should be able to protect themselves is the point. That's the point. That's why I thought about combining two of people's favorite things, hats and guns. I call it the Uzi hat. The Uzi hat, I'm introducing this concept. I like to get this, we could team up with like, whoever, weapons manufacturing companies and like some sort of like fucking, hat making company. Any hat, we fit it with AI technology and cameras. So that you wear the hat, you're walking around, you're worth 27 mil, you're worth $500 million, you're worth billions of dollars. And you're like, oh, I gotta get a whole bunch of security team. No, you don't. You could still get a security team to feel secure, but there are gonna be times where you might wanna step outside by yourself and do something. Which is why you put on the Uzi hat. Timestamp it, patent that right there. Uzi hat, again, with AI video recording. The AI video recorder is just monitoring your surroundings. There are cameras all around the hat, 360 view. Put on the hat, and then there is a Uzi mounted on top of the hat. Should the AI camera detect any sort of hostile activity, any sort of hostility from anyone or anything that's coming close to you, right there, dude, empty the whole chamber right there. So there's gonna be a lot of people buying this product because it protects and saves lives. The Uzi hat. Hashtag save the elite. Hashtag save the super wealthy and powerful. Hashtag Uzi hats. Think about this. And you're like, what if there's like a squirrel jumps out, I'm walking with my lady friend. It'll shoot the squirrel because that squirrel was aggro, or it might have been, and we nipped it in the bud. You're like, what about a baby crying out of in the middle of I'm walking home from a nightclub, or just like whatever, it's an alleyway. When there's a baby, if there's a baby in that alleyway and if it's looking aggro, that baby's gone. When you're like, what about a pregnant lady? She better be in a good mood. I don't care who's behind you or in front of you. If they so much as flinch a little bit or look like they're about to think of something, they're eyeing you and you're dressed well. They're eyeing you and just like looking at you for longer than 3 seconds. Fucking red dots, bitch. Hashtag save the elite. Hashtag save insurance companies. Hashtag banking. Until next time. Peace out.